I have come here to chew bubblegum and vacuum seal ammo, and I'm all out of bubblegum. All the way like that. Whoa. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Hey, what's up YouTube? Double Law Josh coming at you guys today with my 91st vacuum sealing video, and we're going to finish off this box of American Eagle 5.56 62 grain FMJ that I've shown you in the previous couple of videos or past few videos. And so here's the previous one we did, and this was from number 90, and as you can see, it's very beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, so getting back on topic, the first thing you want to do is take some measurements. So as always, you need about 4 inches for the top portion of the seal up here, and then for the bottom portion you're going to need about 1 inch. Alright, so keep those two numbers in mind. Now let's look at the actual cartridge itself. And when you do, well, let's just, yeah, get some eye candy going on. Beautiful. Alright, so when you look at the actual cartridge itself and you measure it, you'll see that it measures about 2 1/4 inches. Alright, so when you take those three measurements, you know, the 1 inch, the 4 inch from the bag itself, and the 2 1/4 inches from the cartridge itself, you come up with 7 1/4 inches. And that's how much we're going to cut out of our bag up top here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to need 7 1/4. Alright, that looks about like 7 1/4. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Alright, and you know, the bag is slightly diagonal, or was cut slightly diagonally, but you know what, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, I've noticed, as long as it's not too exaggerated. So anyway, right now what we have is a sleeve, and we need to turn this into a bag, so we need to seal off one end. So up here on the machine, I left it on from the last video. You want to press seal, you'll see the red light of death come on, as I like to call it. And when you're about to feed in this bag or sleeve or whatever you want to call it, you'll see there's a curled side down, and that's the way you want to feed it into the machine. Is you want to make sure this curled side is facing down just like that. And if you're not sure which side is curled down, you can always look at the bag itself and you see how this is like transparent or smooth, and then here's the textured side. So we're going to put the smooth side down first and seal off one end to again make that bag. So let's go ahead and do that. And I try to feed the bag into the machine nice and evenly as much as possible. And then once it starts working, I like to kind of push the whole thing forward to give the machine as much slack as possible to work its magic. Okay, and it just released it. And here's the top seal up here. Looks pretty good. Alright, so the instructions say to wait at least 20 seconds for the machine to cool down, and this step is a little bit uncalled for in this video just because of what we're about to do next, but I'll go ahead and show you. So it's 6:10:45 on the second hand, and while the machine's cooling down, I'm going to go ahead and load this up with 25 rounds. And the reason it's 25 is from one of the previous videos, I determined that that's the best amount to just kind of get a single row going on. Also, since it's a pack of 150, 150 divided by 25 is 6, so we're going to wind up with 6 bags in total. Alright, so to begin, well, All right, one other note before I start loading it up is as I load them up, I'm just gonna make sure they're facing opposite directions, just like that, inside of the bag itself. So for this next part, I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up like in the previous videos. And man, I know I said that was the last point, but I'm going to try to leave this just laying on the table as much as possible. As soon as you lift this up, all the cartridges are going to start spreading all around inside the bag, and that's not what I want. So again, when you look at the bag itself, the smooth side is the way that we're going to, the smooth side or the transparent side is the one that is the side that's going to be on the bottom when we feed it into the machine. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 25 rounds. Alright guys, that was the final round out of this box. As you can see, it's empty, but I'm going to still double count it anyway just to make sure that American Eagle didn't shice me.
Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Alright, 25 cartridges. They're all there. Okay, and so the next thing is you kind of want to massage, I don't know, like a good word for this. You kind of want to work the ammo inside the bag, make sure it's nice and even and, you know, kind of like flush with the bag, I guess you could say. And you don't want to be too rough here. You don't want to like poke a hole in the bag or anything like that. So what I'm just doing now is kind of like working back and forth until they're, you know, well seated inside of here. It's probably not, this step's probably not really needed, but you know. Alright, you know what? And then the last thing I'm going to do is just kind of give all the cartridges kind of like a push forward, you know, towards the end of the bag. Again, not being too rough. We don't want to puncture the bag. Alright, I'm thinking that's pretty good here. Okay, so we have our bag, of course, situated in the, you know, with the curled side down. And the next thing is we're going to feed it into the machine up top here. And as I'm going to feed it into the machine, I'm going to pinch the sides of the bag here and I'm going to pull it nice and tight, as close to the ammo as possible. And then as soon as the machine starts working, I'm going to give the whole thing a push forward to give the machine as much slack as possible to work. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, just released it. Let's take a look at the top seal. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, beautiful. Wow, that looks good. Alright guys, if only you could see this in person, you would really know what I'm talking about. Just can't keep my hands off of it, you know. Alright, well, as always, thanks for watching, subscribing, and have a good night.